to tonight's recap of Big Brother 14.
Alright, so if you remember the last time, Sunday, Willie caused a pretty lame commotion. I mean, now watching it back in retrospect, this was really quite lame.
Compared to other Big Brother fights?
I mean, he really wanted to be asked to leave, and he did the lamest job possible. You've shamed the Hanses' name, and
Yes.
It's not because you got thrown out, it's because you did it lame.
And because of that, we had to wait until tonight to find out who was going to be nominated.
Alright, so we find out, and...
We'll get there. Janelle and Boogie are thrilled, 2 syllables,
right.
that Willie is gone.
Yeah, because that means they're going to have a good week because they're going to lose 2 people that is against them.
Now they can get rid of either Shane, Danielle, or JoJo.
Right.
Or they put up pawns, this was Boogie's idea, and backdoor one of them.
That's a stupid idea.
Why would you do that? It's week 2. You do not need to bring in the pawns yet.
Too risky, stupid. 2 syllables. So JoJo immediately talks to Frank.
She's like, Frank, I deserve to stay.
And he's like, excuse me, but you voted against me? What are you talking about? You're not loyal to me.
She was trying to explain that she was just being loyal to Willie and that's why she went against him. Guess what? You went against him.
Yes. All right.
Staten Island.
Loud noises.
All right.
It's time for the noms.
And as expected, Shane just goes right for it and puts up Shane and JoJo.
I'm sorry, it's Frank. I wrote that wrong. Frank puts up JoJo and Shane.
Did I say Shane?
You did. You said
sorry.
Shane puts up Shane.
I have a headache.
I know, she really does. Alright, and the whole reasoning was, you voted for me last week.
Reasonable.
Exactly.
Brittany
Perfectly sane.
doesn't know what to do because she's both Shane and JoJo's coach.
So she feels guilty. And her advice to them is, don't talk game till after the POV.
It's pretty sound advice.
Has anybody noticed that Brittany seems to be unraveling a little bit lately? It's almost like she has some post-Willie traumatic stress.
I would if I were her.
See, I wouldn't. I think she's been in this game before, and I think she's just taking it all too seriously.
I don't know.
Alright, she must really need the money. Anyway.
It's time to pick the POV players!
Alright, so Frank picks Ian.
Shane picked Ashley.
And JoJo picked Will.
And the host is Joe! That's me doing a Joe in the dining room.
I'm gonna be the host of this show. Alright, watch out, Julie. So, Ashley wants a husband. I'm done with dating. I want to get wifed up. I totally want to be Susie Homemaker, whoever she is. I think my ideal guy would be like 5 years older, and it doesn't matter if he looks good or not. He should have his own business. I guess I would just want to go out with a guy who's like a super family guy, and he likes to eat out and look at the stars and play Monopoly all night long. Travel, sleep, eat. You know anybody like that? Alright then, well, it's time for the POV ceremony.
Okay.
Not ceremony, competition.
And it's BB Cantina. It's a Mexican fiesta.
La 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 la.
Yeah. So the players are dressed up as these giant chips, and they have to dive into these bowls of like guacamole and salsa and like beans to match up the menu items in the correct order as the master menu.
They're fake, though. It's not real food, because that would be a crime to waste it. Yeah. Alright, so JoJo would rather be swimming on the beach in Staten Island than doing this.
Okay.
It's really slippery out there. It's really slippery out there.
Yeah, there were some falls.
Some awesome wipeouts. Poor Will. He had the best one.
Well, it didn't seem like Ashley was falling because she was taking her sweet ass time.
After everybody was done, she was puttering around for like minutes after that.
Yeah, because it wasn't just like one person finishes and then the competition's over, because
yeah,
they had to make sure that they got the right answers. So
she was all like, I'm just gonna take my time because if somebody gets less than me, I want to win.
Yeah, so not only was she the last to finish, but she had 3 wrong.
Yeah.
She was the only person to get them wrong, right?
Yeah, I think she was. So Shane ends up winning the POV. Congratulations. All right, so Boogie / Frank, because at this point they're sharing one brain, and Shane have a little talk in the HOH room.
And they're both trying to spin it off to Shane like they meant for it to happen. They're like, yeah, dude, good job out there.
Don't assume that the obvious is what we hadn't intended.
Don't assume that we were trying to get you out.
Exactly. And of course, Shane is all like, yeah, I'll work with you. I'll work with you.
Yeah. But they're like, okay, we'll work with you, but you can't tell Brittany.
Big red flag. I see the next episode's gonna be, show us on the doll, Shane, where Boogie touched you.
No! Okay. So, Dan doesn't want to campaign for Danielle because he thinks that it might make it worse. Look what happened with Kara last week.
I think he's just being lazy. He's calling it one of his coaching techniques.
I don't think he's trying to be lazy.
Coaching techniques. Make your player fight for themselves.
Well, it's a good point. Why should he have to do all the work?
He's the coach, because his ass is going home if she does. Dumb. Your ass is on the line too, Dan. You're not going to be spending the rest of the summer there.
He is not being lazy. It's part of strategy.
Okay.
I'm telling you.
Well, Danielle's upset. She hasn't even been put up yet, and she already pulls out the cry on the sofa alone scene.
Well, it's kind of like the equivalent of crying in public.
It's like crying in a mirror. All right. Shane wants them to replace him with Will because he wants Danielle to stick around. Even he's feeling sorry for her, so maybe it is working. So he goes up and talks to Frank. He tries to cut a deal. He's like, maybe you shouldn't put up Danielle.
Maybe you should backdoor Will.
Ooh.
And Frank is like, maybe.
Not.
Yeah.
And then after he leaves, he says not.
So it's time for the POV meeting. And of course, Shane uses the POV on himself.
He cuts right to the chase. I mean, usually it's
I'm pretty sure that's not how it actually happened, but...
Okay. Well...
No, because I remember them saying, like, oh, JoJo had such a stupid POV speech.
Oh, well, they didn't show any of it.
But they didn't have time to show it.
Because it was stupid. All right, so Frank gives his, it's no fun to put people up on the block, but Danielle.
Danielle is on the block.
All right. So JoJo, she thinks she deserves to stay.
Well, Dan says he's got a Hail Mary play to keep Danielle in this game.
Oh, tomorrow night's evictions. Uh-oh, hot dog. Who do you think's going? Leave it in the comments. All right, kids. Till next time. Much love.